I am just drinking some coffee from my favourite mug, and I'm also about to, well, one of my favourites, I have a few, but how good is Kitty? Hi guys, welcome to Book Time. My name's Julia. Today I'm going to be doing a video about, it's books, it's like a TBR of books that I've borrowed from friends and haven't read yet, and whether I should read them or not, because I've had some of them for literally years and I feel like I need to return them to their owners, unless I should read them. So I'm just going to go through in no particular order. The first one was Harper Lee's Go Set A Watchman, which my mother-in-law actually lent me. So I know that she's already read it. I hope she has. Oh my gosh, imagine if she lent it to me and she hadn't read it and I've had it sitting around since it came out. I think I'm going to return this without reading it because I really wanted to reread To Kill a Mockingbird before I read this, and I just haven't got round to it and don't foresee it happening anytime soon. I would like to get round to reading this eventually, but I probably don't need to have someone else's copy in my house when they might like it or want to lend it to someone else, or maybe want to read it for the first time. I don't know. So there's that one. The next one is from my sister-in-law, actually, my husband's brother's wife. It's The Happiest Refugee, best-selling memoir by Anne Doe, who is an Australian comedian. Extraordinary true story of a boy's journey from starvation at sea to becoming one of Australia's best-loved comedians. I would actually really like to read this, but someone recently, I can't remember who it was I was talking to, said they listened to it on audiobook, and I think it's narrated by Anne Doe, and he's funny, but I feel like he's also a really nice guy. Well, that's based on not having met him, obviously, but he seems like a nice guy, and he writes a lot of kids' books too. So, yeah, I may think I'll return this and do the audiobook because I think that will be more likely for me to actually get through the book that way. So there's that one. The next one is Good Omens, which I bought for my dad for his birthday, I don't know, last year, the year before, and he loved it and said I should read it. So he's lent it to me, and it was quite, what's the word, serendipitous. Is that the word? Fortuitous, serendipitous, good coincidence? Don't know. Because the show's just come out. So, yeah, I do hope to read this at some point so I can watch a TV show. The next one is A Story of Seven Summers by Hilary Burden, which is basically just the memoir of a woman who gave up, left her life in London, and then moved to Tasmania to live like a rural life. So you can see there's like veggies and fruit and chickens and stuff. And I did actually start, and I think she does up an old house that she moves into there, and it's just kind of a nice story about her doing that. And I did actually read half of this, I don't know, 5 years ago when my friend lent it to me, and I it was nice and I liked it. So I might try and read it, especially at the moment. It's not like very taxing, it's just kind of nice. So hopefully I'll get to that. Otherwise I will try and return it to my friend because I am catching up with her next week. So I don't even know if she wants it back, but I'll check because she might. So there's that one. Oh, the next one I really want to read, it's the Book of Joan by Lydia Yuknovich, and it has a cool cover, which I think is the reason my friend bought it. And I think it's like dystopian. There's no blurb. Oh, here we go. I'm just going to read the blurb because I'm lazy. A group of rebels have united to save a world ravaged by war, violence, and greed. Joan is their leader. Jean de Men is their foe. The future of... Can I read today? I don't think so. The future of humanity is being rewritten. This mesmerising novel sees Joan of Arc's story reborn for the near future. It is a genre-defying masterpiece that may very well rewire your brain. Basically, I'm really pumped to read this, so hopefully I'll get to it soon because it sounds really cool. The next one is The Night Guest by Fiona McFarlane, who's an Aussie writer, and this was her debut novel that came out several years ago in 2013. It's about, this actually was really popular. You've probably seen it on BookTube, maybe not recently, but in its time. And it won a lot of awards, and it's about an old woman. I think she's old, late middle age in any case, if not elderly, who has dementia. And the night guest is a tiger. So it's about a tiger who lives in her house. And I think you don't know if the tiger's real or not. And it's kind of creepy. But apparently it's also really good. And the friend who lent me this is actually living in Indonesia at the moment for a few years. So she was like, just give it to me when I come back to Australia. You can have some extra years to read it, considering you've already had it for years. So hopefully I'll get to this one before she gets back in 18 months. The next two I borrowed from my mum, North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, because I've never read any Elizabeth Gaskell, and mum loves, well, everyone loves North and South, right? So hope to get to that. And the other one, I'm ashamed to say, is Wuthering Heights, which I've also never read. So I think I had these on a TBR to read for Victober last year and just never got around to it. So I would love to read them, but like I see my parents all the time, so I might just give these back so they're not taking up space, and then borrow them whenever I'm ready, because yeah, I see my parents like multiple times a week. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of those, and if you recommend that I read them or not, or if you too have trouble reading books that friends lend you. I do. Oh, the other one I've got that I'm halfway through is Americana, which a friend lent me, and I'm halfway through, so I will give that one back to her when I finish. But yeah, let me know if you have trouble too returning books or just reading them at all. So yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you soon. Bye.